at all.
Listen at the old Ralph sounding like a new Ralph.
You're ready to hold on tight. Let me show you who Ralph Tresvant really is. That's why we're here now, taking a closer look.
Listen, let me say this. First and foremost, I can't believe we got him on the show, Heather B. Okay, because there's some people that you grow up around and you feel like you went to high school with them because you're in you're in the same age group. And Ralph Tresvant, for me, growing up in Oakland, California, the Bay Area loves him, by the way, and he knows that. I think we got to experience what my parents got to experience with the Jackson 5 and Michael Jackson, to see someone who's so extremely talented across the board, not just a singer, not just a dancer, not just a songwriter, not just a producer, also a scholar, also a great father, and his talent has stood the test of time. But one of the things I really appreciate about Ralph Tresvant is that throughout his career, whatever was going on, ups and downs, lows and highs, this dude always remained to be a classy guy with integrity when it came to his art. He's here today, man, to celebrate his new music, All Mine, and a new DocuSeries called A Closer Look, where you get to hear Ralph Tresvant tell his story his way. Welcome him to the show, the one and only Ralph Tresvant. First time on the show. Ralph,
wow.
What up?
It's Ralph, though.
What's going on, Sway?
Ralph, what up, baby? Dude.
Heather B, man, I was trying to make sure you was talking about the right dude for a second, man.
Hey, bro.
We are.
Yo, we got Tracy G with us too, Ralph. Let me tell you
Hey,
something.
Ralph.
Man,
What's going on, Tracy?
Ralph, come on, let's keep it 100, man. This ain't really an interview. This is a conversation, and I wish it could be longer, but we could do more of it. Yo, we all came up at the same time, bro. Your success, the way you carried yourself, it taught us how to carry ourselves. Your history, what you guys have done, you and New Edition, people talk about the Backstreet Boys, we talk about NSYNC, we talk about all of these different boy bands that have happened, but I always said it was New Edition to me that helped really bring a lot of attention to the boy band culture, and I don't think they get enough recognition or acknowledgement. And so it's important that we say this, man. Ralph, thank you, bro. Thank you, man, for the years.
Man, listen, man, I appreciate that. It's been hard work, Sway. It's been a long road from Little Orchard Park, Roxbury to Hollywood Boulevard, the Star and all that stuff, man. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it. When I look back and I hear stuff like what you're saying right now, man, it makes me feel real good and proud of what we've done and what I've been able to accomplish. We got our families in about the projects and all that good stuff. That was cool. But when we see other people who are inspired that we never even had our eyes on, but we watch them tell us stories like what you're saying right now. And I've always been proud of your career. You and Heather, man. I've been listening for years, man. I'm just watching how you was able to reinvent yourself out of different situations and keep your thing moving throughout the years. I've really been looking from afar, watching you do your thing, and proud of all y'all as well, man.
Wow.
Keep doing what
That's
you're
dope.
doing. Yeah, good.
I could retire now, damn. Ralph, why now? Because we saw the Bobby Brown story, we saw the New Edition story, and now we're seeing a closer look, this docuseries where we're hearing you speak in ways. And by the way, congratulations to the producers of A Closer Look and the journalist that interviewed you. It was a great conversation. Did you feel an urgency that, man, because, we're all kind of, our legacies are now more important to us than, some of those miles, our legacies are very important to us. So it's important that we tell our stories. Did you feel a sense of urgency once the New Edition movie aired to tell your side?
Well, I thought the New Edition did a pretty good, as far as my story and my walk with New Edition. It did a good job of depicting what I was and what I've been through and my walk. But just overall, when I see people tell stuff, my story's always been told through other people's mouths. And for me, I wanted to be able to tell my own story my way, because I felt like they was getting not a bad rap, but they wasn't getting the full picture of who I really am and what it's been like to come up in this industry for me, and being the lead singer of a group that's been as popular as New Edition has been, and all of the different things that I've just used to hear about myself throughout the years, I've been hearing from other people's perspectives. So I figured before it was all said and done, I needed to put out my own story. And I'm resurfacing right now with my own stuff. I got a lot of things that I'm going to be doing over the next few years. So with that said, I wanted to start it out with a new clean slate of who I am now, let people see me as the man, you know, and just come out here that way instead of coming through the track record of New Edition or what I've done in the past. I wanted to kind of do a reset with everything so people know who they talking to and who they talking with and who they've been watching all these years, man. Because just, again, it's been coming from everybody else because I'm pretty private. So I wanted to make sure I came out there and told my story my way. That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, Ralph, because you are private.
You already know, man. You don't catch me at all the parties. You don't see me at the Beverly Hills red carpets and the diamonds or whatever. You know, I'm one of those dudes that I'm family oriented, man. I came up that way. I'm somewhere on a little lake fishing off the bank. I don't even have my boat or yacht and all that out there. I mean, I own one, but I'm usually off doing it real simple. That's more. Yeah, that's fun for me, man. I'm more into that type of that part of the life, you know, living. I'm barbecuing every day, you know, just doing it like that, man. Yeah, that's me, man. I ain't trying to do all that other stuff too much. But, you know, I figured, you know, let me give it one more last hoopla while I'm still young enough to do it. Still got my legs, still got my chops, and the family's all grown. Kids out there doing their thing now. Let me get out here and get it in a little bit.
Well, there it is, Ralph Tresvant. I say Tresvant because I took French lessons, but it's Tresvant.
Oh, God, Sway.
I'm just saying.
Hey, Sway, you let my grandmother tell. She says it like you. She's like, man, why you always saying Tresvant? It's Tresvant and this, that, and the other. Trayvant. She was always trying to get us to say it the traditional way. But we grew up in the project, so it was just Tresvant all my life. So it is what it is, man.
All right, so Ralph, I know we're moving forward, but I want to ask you a couple of questions because I feel like you got Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis on this DocuSeries. Great DocuSeries, great comment. You got great comments from different people. One of the things they talked about was your absolutely. One of the things they talked about was your voice, and I want to. And Jimmy even said he feels like you've been under-acknowledged or even overlooked as a great R&B voice. And you was always the New Edition guy. Bobby got King of the Stage. Johnny got his props. Even BBD, you know, they got raved over. Do you feel like you were that your vote? And I know this is you're a humble guy, but do you feel like folks didn't recognize your vocal prowess?
Yeah, I think as a New Edition member, they took it for what it was. We started so young. You had a little Mike out there who killed that style and that flavor. So it's hard to come behind Mike and get that kind of recognition for being that first. If Mike had never been out there, I probably would have been that dude. But as I got older, I kind of jumped into my own, and I think that part of it got overlooked. But again, I wasn't one of those cats trying to overjump on the pop thing, and I didn't really run my records, my management or my team through trying to make sure we was on all of the, the higher profile video outlets and TV outlets, stuff like that. I just kept it real cultural, moved around that way, and I was fine with that. You know?
It was fine.
But I do believe what you're saying. I do believe, I could have gotten a lot more out of this if I'd just been that dude just showboating and being that dude that wanted to be that one. You know, I could have made more noise at the end of the day, but I was good. You know, I'm still good.
Okay, you're still good. You know, you said you're all right.
Yeah.
At one point, you left your management, and it reads it was because of, business issues, money problems.
Mm-hmm.
And these are, like, we're hearing this. We still hear that same song since the beginning of the music business. Black artists have always been taken advantage of in contracts, touring the whole nine. What has been your biggest takeaway? What did you learn? What was your biggest lesson about business that you learned being an artist? And can you be specific of something that happened that made you learn from it?
I mean, we've been learning every step. It seems like every step about my career is something that I had to figure out. Again, coming out of the bricks, my mother, my father, none of us knew anything about the music industry, how the money was made, where it was made. Especially back then, it was a lot more tucked away, So every time we did something, whether it was touring for the first time, whether it was putting out records for the first time, merchandising, whatever it might have been that we were doing for the first times, we always was learning a lesson. And even with the records, like with our record contracts, we've just kept getting it. You know what I'm saying? We felt like we was getting new contracts, but we never got that big deal after selling millions and millions of records. for the Candy Girl, then the Cool It Now album or the self-titled New Edition album, going into the All for Love. All these albums, we were readjusting the contract opposed to doing new contracts out the gate. So those are one of our biggest things, that New Edition as a whole never really got paid off of records.
Really?
That's for real. Like, our thing was having to go out on the road and do tours because we was adjusting what we thought was new contracts. It was just amendments to an old contract. So we was pretty much in the Candy Girl or the Cool It Now the album with Cool It Now. We was in that same contract pretty much for the life of New Edition. And all the way through the Heartbreak album with Jimmy and Terry and all, and was just a new, updated version with like points and percentages. But we never went in there and signed that $70 million or that $60 million deal for selling hundreds of millions of records, you know what I'm saying, dollars worth of records for companies. So it was kind of like having to be hands-on. I think before you go into this industry, I mean, it's different now. It's kind of out there a little bit bigger in a much more major way than it was when we was coming in the game.
Yeah.
But I think it's almost like you gotta be a lawyer before you become an artist in this joint, man. You gotta know something about how to read contracts and how to read paperwork. You know, that paperwork is serious, man. That's what got us. We got pencil whipped out of a lot of money by not understanding contracts back in the days. So that's to be specific. But
what's different now? Like, you got the All Mine single now. What do you do differently now from a business perspective?
Well, we own everything now. You know,
there you go.
The record label, the company that we're putting it out on, all our merchandising, everything is owned by us now. You know. And we just pretty much put our own stuff out, so we ain't got to worry about what the paperwork say. It says what I want it to say.
Ralph Tresvant is here, man. It's a new docuseries. I advise you all to watch. A closer look available at www.umc.tv. I'm going to ask you one more question. Let Heather and Tracy jump in because you talked about New Edition never made money, real money, from the record sales. So you had to make it on either publishing, if you were a writer, touring, or merch was primarily your income streams. But talk to me about the inequities that was happening on tour back then. When you think of groups like New Kids on the Block, Backstreet Boys, and then soon NSYNC and all the other boy bands that came, was there a disparity in how you guys were paid? Were they being paid more for performances?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe they were, man. You know, they were selling, you know, there was the kind of groups that when we would come out and do our thing, we would watch them come out and they would have, it was a difference between us having to sell our merchandise in the arenas and or wherever we were and watching, we would walk through Walmart and Toys R Us and stuff like that and see all of these dudes up there next to Bart Simpson and Ninja Turtles and New Kids, and you know they was being marketed like a New Kids, like a new Ninja Turtle or something like that, and we was being moved around like a R&B group, you know, like we weren't being moved around on the level of Walmart, Kmart, you know, those kind of things where they had, like I said, like you could go see SpongeBob SquarePants and the New Kids shirt, or a coffee mug, but a lunchbox or whatever it was, side by side. Even dolls. We never got our dolls, Sway. We never got that, man. They didn't give us our dolls and our commercial. We didn't get our cartoons and stuff. You know, them dudes was doing it on that level. So when they moved around, there was like almost arena worthy. I mean, almost stadium worthy. Specific spots they went. New Edition never went and sold out an arena or a stadium by themselves. But those kind of cats was moving around at that level. Wow. They were just being pumped up like that, and we was being pumped up more of an R&B group, opposed to a
mainstream
sensation group.
Yeah, pop sensation. Yeah, which you should have been promoted. You should have had the same budgets as them. Basically, is what happens. If the record companies kind of, you know, they kind of make they make their projections.
Hey, when you look at them, they'll tell you themselves they was inspired by us. We was the ones that put the blueprint together for them to look up to, and they wanted to be like, and especially New Kids. I know for a fact, and you know those are my dudes. So there's nothing against it, against them, but it was just marketing. There's a difference between, like you said, the budgets that they was given and the outlets that they were given to display their talents. It always superseded New Edition.
There it is. Ralph Tresvant is here. Heather B., I know you was a big fan. Heather thought she was a candy girl when that single first came out.
I was a candy girl. No thought. I just didn't make the album, Sway. Don't try to take away my dream. Okay, I just didn't make the cover. I lived in New Jersey. They were in Boston. Hello, Sway. Trying to steal my dream, Ralph. Like, my goodness. Anyway, Ralph, man, welcome to the show again officially, and thank you for joining us. Like, I'm listening to the conversation and just thoroughly enjoyed. I mean, hearing you share so much stuff and talk about all of this. In my opinion, though, and I think I share the opinion of many others, regardless of all the success that these other groups may have had, from the Kmart, the Walmart, the Toys R Us, New Edition for us and in our heart and mind is the most successful, other than Jackson 5, obviously. But we can name all of New Edition. New Edition, even separately, went off and was successful in their own right, each and every member, which we've never seen anything like that before. So it's just love to y'all, admiration all across the board. But at some point for you, with the phenomenon that it became, and you guys are so loved and revered, has it ever been like bittersweet? And if so, if you want to just focus on the sweet part of it, who were you like most excited that you guys met? Like, were you able to just like meet that one person? It's like, oh my gosh, we finally met so and so.
It was two of them for me. Number one was Michael Jackson. When I met Michael Jackson, we actually went to his house and was playing with his llama and his monkeys and stuff like that. So it was surreal. I got to see Thriller video before it hit the world, man. We were sitting in his theater watching the Thriller video as little youngsters. Yeah, it was crazy, man. We watched Can You Feel It, and he went down the gamut with us, man. He just really laid it out for us. They cooked dinner, and I watched Latoya eat popcorn with hot sauce, and I've been doing it ever since. It was like one of those things. I was just in awe. And the other one was Stevie Wonder. We were sitting at we were staying at this place out in California called Franklin Plaza Suite. Now Stevie was a household thing. You know, my father had a collection that you would get beat down if you went and touched this. If he saw a record out of place when he came home after work, and which I would sneak in all the time because I just had to go for it because Stevie was that serious to me. But Stevie Wonder, I met him. We were staying at Franklin Plaza Suite out here in Los Angeles, and and Stevie, we were in the garage. We just pulled in there. Me and Ronnie had bought some dirt bikes, so we was in there messing around with the dirt bikes, trying to clean them up, getting ready to hit LA with them. And a car pulled in, and somebody stepped out the car, started singing "Cool It Now." Ooh, I tell you, we looked over, and it was Stevie Wonder. I was like on the floor, like, nah, you got to be. Yeah, I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. So I was able to get Stevie on the phone with my father one year, man, and it was just a blessing. Now, Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson did it for me. When I met them, I was in awe, like starstruck, that type of thing.
Shit. Hey, did Mike comment, because obviously he was a big influence in how you projected and performed, danced, and even it was the likening of your voice to his as a kid that really stood out. And did he comment like, wow, what did he say to you? Like, wow, Ralph, you really nailed it. Like, what did he say? Honestly, he liked this gesture that Bobby made inside of the "Is This the End" video. That's what I remember. We sitting around talking about. But he said all kind of stuff to us about make sure you watch your money, make sure you have the right people around you. You know, Mike was saying it way back then. All of them did, man. We couldn't run into a black off. Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight. Every time we ran into somebody, they was, hey man, you guys make sure you keep your eye on your money or put some money away. You don't know how long this thing gonna last or this, that, and the other. It doesn't last that long for everybody. And then, they just saw it as they saw we was having that little young success going on. They didn't know if it was gonna carry into our later years. So they was trying to give us the game in terms of, investing and doing stuff like that. So Mike was no different. He was doing the same thing. So he just told us a lot about, keep doing what we're doing. He's enjoying the music. But there was one part that I can't remember. It's like Bobby put his hand on his head or something. In this the end, they keep showing us, in the video, they keep showing us one by one, eventually running with a girl. One of the girls we're supposed to be having an interest in, and standing with them talking or whatever it is. They go through each member doing that. You got to Bobby, and this gesture that he made, Mike was just tickled
tickled to death with this move he made. I was like, damn, why didn't I do that move in the video? Yeah. I was just pissed. I was like, damn, I should have did that move right there. Yeah, it was cool. But it was cool, yeah, man.
Yo, ain't that crazy? Sway wanted to be a New Edition too, so he won that move.
Yo, Ralph, though.
Sway was hip hopped out. Sway was coming out in the hip. He was hip hopped out. Yeah. And I love y'all show, man. I promise you, I listen to it religiously. I love y'all show. I can't believe it's been this long since I got up here, man.
Yo, well,
I should have been on here.
It's all right, Ralph. Things happen when they're supposed to happen. So, you know, that means you just got to come back because we can't finish it in one conversation. You know, so you just got to come back. Hey, let me tell you this, too, man. I'm going to let Tracy jump in. Rest in power to your father. And, rest in power to your father. My father is transitioned as well. My grandfather, Ralph, here we go. My grandfather used to take me fishing from the time we were youth. So that whole Delta, I don't know if you're still in the Bay, but that whole Delta and all of Northern California, man, I know that like the back of my hand. So we got to go fishing. I didn't know you was an angler like that, man. Come on,
yeah, man. I've been up under the Golden Gate Bridge catching halibut. I've been in the back catching, been on the San Mateo Bridge catching sturgeon. I've been getting it in a little bit. Yeah, they got it all out there a little bit, man. So, yeah, I would love to do that. That sounds like a plan to me, man.
Oh, watch it, man. What you catch the sturgeon with, ghost shrimp? Or blood
worms. What you do with the ghost shrimp? Yeah, what you know about the ghost shrimp?
Hey, I just wanted to hit you one time with that, so you know that is for real, okay?
Doing it for sure. Now it's a party. It's official. We going out now.
There you go. All right, Tracy, you want to jump in there?
Yes, I do. Hey, Ralph, I can't show off the way Calloway just did, but I do want to say thank you for being so generous with all of the insight and the reflections that you're sharing with us. You know, a lot of times because the story of artists being treated in such an uneven manner financially runs rampant in the industry. And what I've noticed is that some artists will either take it very personally and call labels like monsters, you know, and then some other people are able to compartmentalize and just respect it as the game, you know, and be like, this is how contracts can be, whatever, I'm out of it. What was it for you? Or was there a transition? Maybe it did start and it felt very personal and then you evolved into eventually seeing it as two separate things. But how did you look at that when it came to dirty contracts?
I looked at it like I was saying earlier. I believe it was just none of us knew about it. It was a learn as you go type of thing with everything, you know. But some artists come from the bricks. Some artists come from the suburbs. And so I think the difference is when you come from the bricks, you can chalk it up that that's part of the streets. That's street life. That's how it is. You got to keep it moving. You're gonna sink or swim, you know. And then other people they lowering up. They going in there. They trying to. They know they have a different approach about how to go at it. They hitting the news. They hitting the outlets, and they talking about the people who did them dirty. And we was different than that. We just had that. We just had that mentality. Let's keep it moving. It's better that at least the ship is still on float. It's still floating. You know, we can make the most of what we know now. Apply that and attack the next project or the next contract. And that's what we kept doing. So that allowed us to have the energy to stay together. I think if we'd have came out here and we probably would have had millions and millions of dollars out the gate. Everybody got $20, $40 million each out the game. We might not even still be around doing it like as a team. We probably went on our separate ways because there was nothing else to really accomplish. You know, our thing was to get to the point where we can have that kind of payday. That big payoff that felt like it was going to be a monetary thing. But most of our paydays have been through the love and the accolade, the legacy, like Sway was talking about earlier today. It hasn't been a monetary thing for us, and maybe that's always what it was supposed to be. We came out, we did get all our families out the bricks. Our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, for the most part, when we was coming up, was living fine. They never really had to worry about anything, and neither did we for the most part. We just had to stay working, had to stay on that road, had to keep it moving in that way to achieve that. But the part of being broke, the part of not knowing where your next meals and all that was coming from was gone a long time ago. Candy Girl days, well, not long after the Candy Girl days, those was gone. But that big payday, that retirement, where you feel like you can just ride off into the sunset moment, we never really got that. We never really got that as a team. Yeah.
That's surprising because y'all are easily the biggest group of cross generationally. One of the biggest groups ever.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people could say what they want. They could be all up in Walmart. The real heads know what time it is.
Know what time it was. Let me ask you this too, Ralph, because when people watch this DocuSeries, you're gonna hear about a time that was a pretty challenging time for you when your mom passed away, and you talked about that, man, and I was like, wow, man, this dude is really opening up to us, and you may not realize it because sometimes people from our generation, if you cut from the right cloth, a certain cloth, you're not gonna tell everything. I don't care what camera. I don't care who's in your face asking. Oprah could be asking you now, but I'm not giving you that, Oprah. That's not gonna happen. You opened up, and I thought about the time when you talked about the time when your mother was passing, and at the same time, your relationship was dwindling. And you're famous as hell, but your contracts aren't right. You know
exactly.
You know,
it was multiple things.
It was multiple things compounded at once, and you talked about how you would go off on your own. This fame thing is a monster, Ralph. This fame thing, twist your face up, and you find yourself doing things you never thought you'd be doing. I've seen myself in really low places doing things in my wildest imagination I never thought I would do. None of us have been nearly as famous as New Edition. Where did you find relief from that in that time period? A lot of us self-medicate, whether it's drinking weed or other vices. Some of us meditate. Some of us give it to spirituality. Did you go through those phases during that time?
Yeah, I've had phases with it, but not. I mean, I just isolated myself. I was one of those people that isolated myself, man. It seems like I've always had multiple things going on. So I was just cut like that. I was just built like that to deal with that kind of stuff. But I got to do it by myself. I can't be around people. I can't be out in the public. I can't, I just kind of got to get into my own world, absorb what's going on, feel it, get mad, cry, go through all the emotions for it, and come out swinging. Figure out a plan to come out swinging. I always felt like one of the things that I didn't have was enough room to sulk or to be down too long. I've just always been dependent upon. Since I was a little kid, everybody was dependent on me to play my role, do my part. So with that being said, I just always felt like everybody ain't built to suck it up like that and keep it moving. But I am. I'm one of those dudes that because I'm not into all of the hoopla of the game, I'm into the realness of it and why I'm really here, what I'm really here to do from my perspective, and knowing that just being able to see it from that perspective always allowed me to suck it up, brush it off and keep it moving, do the next piece. I've had multiple things, man, going on. Yeah. Where while we doing videos and smiling, while I'm on stage and smiling and performing, tragedy was going on around outside just probably that day, but nobody would never know because I just knew how to play it off like that. I knew how to keep it moving.
Yeah, but that could be kind of damaging if you don't get it off, whether it's therapy or something else. You never put a blunt in the air, Ralph.
I had a blunt back in the day, of course. I ain't do no real. I wasn't into no heavy stuff. But coming up in the projects, we was in the always blazing. That's how we all came up, man. That's one thing that'll relieve a lot of stress, man. If you're going through it. It's behind me now, but there was a time that was like daily, man, for sure. Yeah. I ain't gonna sit here and lie about that. But at the end of the day, I never got into anything heavy, which is one of the other rumors I have to come out here and dispel from time to time. I heard I was on all kinds of stuff, man. Alcoholic, a crackhead, or this or that. I was like, it's crazy out here, man.
That's not true, Ralph. None of that's true, right?
Hell no, man. I would let you know. It would have been on the documentary, trust me.
Okay.
Nah, that's not my thing. My thing was I always had to be in shape, man. I always had to be ready. Singing I'm singing 90% of the songs out there as a crew, doing my own things, had children. That was more important to me. That's exactly, now that I'm sitting there talking about it, where I got a lot of relief from when I started having kids and raising my children and being around them. It just put that sense of regular old Ralph back into the equation, where I wasn't sitting around on no superstar Hollywood. Got to keep making it. I got to outdo Michael one day, or all these astronomical goals. It got me to the point where it's just, this is what it's all about right here. And before my mother passed, she was on a deathbed, and that's one of the things she said to me. She said, she reminded me, this was like 96, probably 95 when she was saying this. She said, take care of them babies. Broke me down. I was like, Mom, listen, we're going to take care of these babies together. What you talking about? We're getting up out of here. It's going to be all right, da-da-da-da-da. Long story short, when she passed, it was about she passed, and I had to immediately go on tour with New Edition months later. Damn. Coming out of that, like you said, Sway, coming out of there, it was like a month and a half later, I was out on the tour doing the Home Again tour. Ex-wife, she was, and now she had just freshly became an ex. Like you said, all the other contractual things going on. It was much more probably. But I went into a little thing where I had to smile on stage. I come on stage, I'm in my hotel room chilling. I'm trying to get to the next city to get it over with. It was one of those runs. And I never forget, out the blue, I was after the tour ended, I was sitting around, I was bearded out, I was just forgot about the world, just sunk into this little hole. And I remember hearing my mother's voice to take care of them babies. I was like, the babies, oh my God, that's right, my babies. And I jumped up, I shaved, I got clean. That was my pursuit, to get back in their world. And that was my relief, man. That was seeing them smiling, moving them around, making sure they had what they were supposed to have, just playing that everyday role in their lives. That gave me life. That's what pulled me out of it the most, having my babies.
Wow, Ralph Tresvant, ladies and gentlemen, man. Yeah. That's what I needed to hear from you, Ralph, man. You my bro. We the same class, man. We would have been to the same high school if I grew up in Boston, I'm sure.
I know, that's right.
Still, Sway, still.
No, come on, Heather. Let me live,
I
man.
can actually see that.
Cool it down. Hey, let me ask you this. I know you. We have to let you depart but we gonna stay in touch, bro. And in the end, you did something really powerful. In the end of this. By the way, man, go ahead and watch this if you haven't. If I haven't sold it well enough for you, I'm not sure what could. A closer look is on www.umc.tv. Ralph Tells All. And in the end, man, you make it a point. You make it a point to send a message to every member of New Edition that I love y'all. Everything we've done, we're part of each other's legacy, each other's lives. I love you. Mm-hmm. But the way you were saying it, it was almost to answer any doubt or any question or apprehension about it. Why was that important? Are you guys all communicating now, or that hasn't happened yet?
We're communicating. I mean, it's more them and Johnny, and I've been kind of on the outskirts of it, coming in and out. But it just felt like they needed to hear that from me, man. Because throughout the years, it's always been, to me, like they didn't know that. It's like this since Candy Girl days, it was this undertow, like I may leave the group or I may do this. And that's why all these other projects kind of spawned, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. Even when I was working on other stuff, or if I decided I want to produce music or do other things that wasn't New Edition oriented, it seemed like the group always took it as though that meant I'm leaving, like I'm breaking up, like it was, or had the potential to do that. And it just seemed like after 40-something years, I still needed to say that. Like, that's what it felt like. I still need to let them know, man, look, this is what I am, man. I'm a New Edition member for life. If you don't know by now, I don't know what else to tell you. But at the end of the day, what I can tell you is that I love you. I care about you. Most of my life was built around. It's like, Watch the documentary. They can hear it, man. But I ain't going to get into that. I might start crying on y'all on here, man.
Go ahead and cry, Ralph. I'm crying hearing you.
Nah, it's a lot of life, man. It's a lot of time spent with brothers, you know. They're like literally my brothers. Yeah, I spent more time with them than I did my own family. So at the end of the day, I just want to make sure that they understood if we never do speak or we never do anything else again, that I appreciated what we've done, appreciated them being a part of my world, you know? That was what that was.
I think, Heather, I'm going to say this. If we could get a new edition tour, not and no offense to the solos, not a BBD, not a Johnny, just a new edition tour with them as new edition. No side things. I think Ralph would do it.
A new edition tour?
Yeah, just new edition. No side groups. This is just straight up new edition. Because I heard you in the DocuSeries. Straight new edition, big payday. This is that one. You'll do it.
Absolutely. We're already talking about it.
There you go. There it is. I'm gonna leave it right there, ladies and gentlemen. He's already talking about it. Let's get it, man.
Beautiful.
Ralph, we still here, baby. We still here.
Without a doubt.
Ralph Tresvant, man, he has some amazing kids. They're all over the documentary. They love their daddy, and they're beautiful, man. You got some really handsome, gorgeous kids. Congratulations, and welcome back, man. Welcome back. All Mine is the new single.
Yes, sir.
It's available across all digital platforms, right?
Yes, it is. Yep.
And is an album coming too?
Album will be out in 2021. So hopefully sometime in spring. That's what we're going for right now.
Okay.
Yep. But we're going to follow it up for sure. Now, again, man, I've been watching you for years, reinvented over and over again, coming out of different situations and just keeping the brand going, keeping your thing going. Same thing with Heather and Tracy as well, man. I appreciate y'all's love, man, and keep doing what y'all doing. You're inspiring a lot of people. Yeah, you're inspiring a lot of people and giving a lot of people opportunities as well to get heard and seen throughout the year. So just keep doing what you're doing too, man. The world is watching and appreciating it too.
Thank you, Ralph, man. Ralph Tresvant, man. Now people believe I was the member that just decided to do something different.
Nah, Sway. Listen, nobody went that far yet.
Whatever, Heather. Hey, Ralph, Heather didn't like who was the girl in the Candy Girl video that you was with? Who was that?
No, I ain't like the girl on the cover, not the video. I ain't care. By the time the video came out, I had to suck it up. It was the cover. I felt like
on the cover. That was Tracy. Man, nobody liked. Listen, Heather, nobody liked Tracy. She went through so much punishment during that time period. Man, she was getting chased home and beat up all the time. Man, nobody liked.
No. I wouldn't have did that far. I would have. That's just hating. I was just jealous.
It was bad.
There's a jealous girl in. I was that.
Oh, baby, right there. She would go through it. She went through it. Yeah, it was tough for her.
I'm like, why they picked her? I could have been there. That ice cream
Heather, come on, you was talking. You was shooting guns back then, man.
Sway, that's a hate. Oh my gosh! Don't be mad you couldn't keep up with the steps.
Whatever. I was b-boying back then. You better look Sway and King Tech. That's
Biv got your part, Sway. You mad that Biv took your part?
Hey, Ralph, I'm sorry about Heather, man. I'm sorry, Ralph.
Hey, Heather, we're gonna do a remix out. We're gonna do a remix out. We're gonna sit Heather in the middle on the next.
Just sit me there, Ralph. I'm chilling. I'm gonna be good. I'll be right. I'll be low key too.
We're gonna sit you in the middle of the ice cream parlor. Then we're gonna recreate that whole scene. Sit you in the center, baby.
Oh man, I can't wait, man. Just send me the choreography, Ralph. I'll learn it. Hey man, hey Ralph.
Sway, we might need you back there. Hey, we might need you on deck. We never know if Bobby gonna show up, man.
I'm gonna learn all Bob's parts, man. That's my dude too. I can learn his parts, man.
That's what's up. Yeah.
All right, man. Hey man, love you, Ralph. Okay,
and we gonna love you too, man.
Okay, man. We gonna play this All Mine. Pick it up, support Ralph Tresvant. Him and Johnny Gill teamed up on this one again, and it's incredible, man. Proud of you. Keep going. Hey, Ralph, is this your number that you calling from?
Yeah, that's me.
I'm going to shoot you a text, brother. Okay?
Sound like a plan, man. Y'all be good over there and keep doing your thing, man. Mad love.
Mad
You
love,
too.
brother.